Hello, you gorgeous people. Welcome to Monday. Today I've got loads of different messages that I want to share with you. And so I'll tell you all about it on the other side, okay? Come and join me. So I've been having lots of conversations with the emissaries and loads of information's come through. So what I want to do is kind of give you a potpourri of all of the things that we've been talking about, okay? So it's going to take two videos, so this one and the one on Friday as well. So the first thing, we were talking about the power of the word and how things need to be said out loud. So when you give thanks, say it out loud. Well, one of the things that they were talking to me about was music. And they were saying that music in this world has been taken over by the baddies, the devil, if you want. You know, and there are lots and lots of stories about people who, when they get into that, they have a choice to make, which is handing themselves over. So what they were saying was this: what happens when we have a piece of music that we like? What do? Well, typically that changes our mood, and also very often we sing the words out loud. Very often. I've done that all of my life. And this is a good thing. They're not saying that that's wrong. But what they were saying was, be aware that the baddies fully know the power of manifestation. And so imagine you're singing out loud, you're actually enunciating these spells, and you're feeling really good about it. If those words are not the right words, if they're not going to bring about what we want, then what we're doing is we're manifesting the wrong thing. They know that. That's why they took over the music business, because there are very few things that can engender emotion in us like music. So what they were saying was just be very cautious about what you're singing out loud. Okay, we've got to be cautious about what we're saying out loud, so singing comes into it. But I just thought it was important to mention it because of the fact that we get quite emotional when we sing. You know, sometimes I'm singing and I'm crying, or I'm singing and I'm happy. So make sure that you look for the songs, the ones that you're going to sing out loud, that actually are something beautiful. And if perhaps, you know, maybe the intention wasn't beautiful, but when you sing with a beautiful intention, then that's sorted, you know. I don't think we should be singing, I'm on a highway to hell. I don't think we should be singing that out loud, okay? Just my feeling, not a good affirmation, yeah? Equally, they also said that when you have questions that you need an answer to, they said, say the question out loud. Ask the question out loud and you leave it hanging. And then leave it. Just ask the question and leave it. And they said the answer must come. It's an obligation of the way that the dynamic works. When you leave an open question, it must be answered when you do it out loud. Okay? So just something to try. Go out in the countryside when you're walking the dogs, or just having a walk, or on the bike, or whatever, running. Ask the question and then wait. And it might come in, you know, many different ways. Watch out for the answer, but the answer will come. That's what they said. Next bit, normalizing. Normalizing is something that we do, humankind does. What is normalizing? Normalizing is making something new into something not new. So you move to the coast. You've got a big bay window and you see the sea, and you move there and you look out the window and you say, oh my God, this is just so beautiful. This is so beautiful. 2 weeks later, you don't see the sea. You don't see it. Why? Because your mind has normalized it. That's normal, so it doesn't stand out. The mind does that on purpose so that you don't spend your whole life going, yeah, at everything, you know, like a goldfish with the 3-second memory, like, oh man, this is great. That's why the mind normalizes it, so that you can actually get through life, you know, being level. However, the baddies know. They know that we normalize. Now, a very famous person, I believe, someone that was aligned to Hitler, it might have been him or somebody, one of his men, said, if you say something enough times, it becomes truth. That's normalization. We see that with the baddies all of the time. They're just constantly repeating over and over again because they know that once they've repeated it, once the person's heard of it enough times, for them it's normal. And they're doing that with the change of the climate. Yeah, just got to be careful what I say. So they're doing that already. They're just, come on, it's on, it's happening. After a while, people just go, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Normalization. How do we protect ourselves from normalization? Well, the way that we do it is we have to question everything. It's kind of a question of being in the moment as well. Living in the present moment. Because when we're in the past or in the future, we're not here, and they can put loads of messages into our brain. But when we don't believe anything, literally, do not believe anything, question everything, that keeps you safe. So when you hear a message, and it doesn't matter where the message comes from, whether it's the baddies, the baddies were fairly protected because we know, but from the goodies, that's when they can slip in. Question everything. What I'm telling you, question it. Why is Gordon saying that? Is that really true? Maybe it is. Who knows? That's kind of where you've got to be. Maybe it is. Who knows? But don't just believe anything. And don't accept anything. Even when it's patently brilliant. If you know what I mean. The reason is, once you teach your mind to not accept, then it doesn't normalize for you. So every time you're looking at something thinking, okay, I need to look at this with fresh eyes. Okay? So watch out for the normalization. They've been using it. They use it all of the time. That's why they put into films these messages over and over and over again, because after a while it becomes normal. Alien invasion, normal. Virus, normal. Zombies, normal. Yeah, this is what normalization is. So watch out for it. Be careful, because the buggers are using it all the time. Next thing, and this is not the emissaries, this is me. Please watch out for what I would call the Johnny-come-latelys, the new kids on the block, and especially those who go viral. Okay, I firmly believe that nobody goes viral by mistake. I do not believe that at all. I think people go viral because they are meant to go viral. It's very difficult to go viral. It is really, really difficult to go viral. And yet people do. Okay? In our world, in the free world. So watch out for that. When somebody comes with a message and they have tremendous traction and everybody's talking about them, use your common sense. Yeah? Use your judgment. Can you remember a man called Mark Sargent? Mark Sargent came in at the back end of the Earth not being round idea. He came in and he went viral. His videos went viral. And suddenly he was being interviewed and he was the man to go to if you want to talk about the Earth being FLAT. However, and he used to wear t-shirts saying, I am Mark Sargent. Now, when you see somebody who wears a t-shirt telling you who they are, then you start saying, perhaps there's a bit of an ego thing going on. Perhaps this smells of shit. Okay? And when he talked about himself, he was full of his own praises. Next thing, he appears on a Netflix documentary in which he allowed himself to look stupid, in which he allowed all of the people around him to look stupid, and in which he allowed the test that they've done so many times that shows that there is no curve to fail. Okay, it failed, and he came across as a total weirdo. That's no mistake. That's no mistake. That movement of which, hey, it's unstoppable and it's massive, it's bigger than you think. That movement was getting too carried away with itself. It was clear. You see, remember, if the earth isn't this shape, and it's that shape, or some other shape, who knows? Everything falls. All of the dominoes fall. All of the dominoes fall. It's massive. Understand that. It's such a... Because people say, well, what's the difference? The difference is enormous. Because if it's not true, that... It brings into question every single thing that we've ever been told. Okay? That was why it was so important for them to smash that. Yeah, and that's what they did. So they bring in, and it's happening all of the time. I see it all of the time. What's the idea? The premise is easy, which is bring somebody in who has 95% great information, a little bit weird, bit of weirdness here, 95% great information. Everybody turns to them and goes, wow, this is it, this is the one, this is the person who knows everything. And then little by little, they do stupid things and they discredit our movement completely. That's the idea. Let me tell you what happened to me. At the beginning of all of this madness, I was thoroughly taken in by the fact that this person was going to rid the world of everything, and his people were there. And I know it's still that's still a possibility, but I was taken in by it, and I told the people who were asleep what was going to happen, and I told them time frames. What happened? Well, they listened and they said, come on, tell me what. And I said, blah, blank, 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 blank. And they went, okay, well, we'll see. And of course it didn't happen. So what happens is my credibility down the shiter. Zero credibility with those people. And that's why I learned to shut up. And I also learned to stop believing all of this hype about dates and this tomorrow, next 2 weeks and all of that. Because it ruins our credibility. It ruins our credibility, and God only knows we need as much credibility as we can, because everything is set up to ruin our credibility. So just watch out for the new kids on the block. People who appear that we've never seen them before. Where have they been for the last 2 years? Where have they been? Don't know. And then suddenly they appear. Always with the story of, well, I just feel now is the time to speak out. Now, when it's all the bad stuff is kind of easing a little bit and we're moving into the next stuff. No. Anyway, you use your discernment on that. I'm just saying, new kids on the block, I'm concerned about them. That doesn't mean that the old kids on the block are all believable. Doesn't mean that at all. Just means that when somebody's going viral for no reason, yeah? We're in the age, when I do the cards, I listened to somebody saying that the tarot cards don't work now because we're in a new level. Oh, what a disappointment. People have always got to try and steal your dreams, haven't they? I think they work. So when I do the tarot cards and I look at the Hierophant comes up a lot. The Hierophant is the high priest who has he has followers and everything. We're in the age of the Hierophant. We're in the moment where the Hierophant appears a lot. And that can be good, and it also can be bad. And so what we've got to do is not put our faith in gurus, not believe. Nobody knows the truth. Nobody. Everybody's trying to do the best. Everybody's saying what they believe, but you don't have to believe that. Take the essence, take the energy of that, but don't believe the words. Because nobody really knows. Okay, nobody knows. I certainly don't, and nobody else seems to either. If we all knew exactly, we'd all have the same message, and that's not what I hear. There are lots of different messages. I mean, some of them well weird. I listened to some just the other day. This woman who was saying that she was part of it was just mouth hanging open, thinking, of this. What am I supposed to believe of that? Nothing. Didn't believe anything. But that doesn't mean it's not true. I just didn't want to believe. I didn't want to take on board all of those things. I think this is a done deal. Everything's going to happen anyway. That's what I'm always being told. It's a done deal. And that really, all of this is, they're just all like, I don't know, things to confuse, things to give hope. I don't know. But we're in the age of the Hierophant. Watch out for the Hierophant. Okay? Even with the best of intentions, they can cause people to go in the wrong direction. And we all need to be going in the same direction, don't we? Yeah? Toward the light, toward the brightness, toward the beautiful golden age that's coming, the 1,000 years of whatever it is that we're going to have. Oh, I don't mind 1,000 years, don't mind if it's not 1,000 years. 100 years, I'd be happy with that. Happy with that. So, I leave you to enjoy your week. I love you all, and I'll see you all on Friday. Take care.